So, what do you think about Claudia Sheinbaum's first few days as president? She seems to be taking a different approach than her predecessor, López Obrador.
It's definitely interesting. She's keeping some of his policies, but she's also putting her own spin on things. Her press conferences are shorter and more concise, and she seems to be more focused on facts and figures than on emotional appeals.
That's a good point. She's a scientist, after all. She's used to dealing with data and evidence. But do you think she'll be able to capture the same level of public attention and support that López Obrador had? He was a master of connecting with people on an emotional level.
That's a big question. López Obrador was a very charismatic leader, and he used his daily press conferences to build a strong connection with the public. Sheinbaum is more reserved, and she's not as comfortable with the theatrics of politics. It remains to be seen if she can find a way to connect with people in the same way.
It's interesting that she's continuing the diplomatic dispute with Spain. I thought she might try to smooth things over, but she seems to be doubling down on López Obrador's stance.
It's a tricky situation. Spain has been reluctant to apologize for its role in the conquest of Mexico, and that's a sensitive issue for many Mexicans. Sheinbaum is clearly trying to appeal to those sentiments, but it could also backfire if it alienates Spain and other European countries.
And what about her approach to the drug cartel violence? She's downplaying it, just like López Obrador did. Do you think that's a wise strategy?
It's a difficult issue. The drug cartels are a serious problem in Mexico, and it's not something that can be ignored. But Sheinbaum is probably trying to avoid fueling public panic and anxiety. She's hoping that by focusing on other issues, she can create a sense of stability and security.
It's clear that she's trying to walk a fine line. She wants to maintain the support of López Obrador's base, but she also wants to establish her own identity as a leader. It's going to be interesting to see how she navigates these challenges.
Absolutely. She's got a lot of work ahead of her. She's facing a lot of the same problems that López Obrador did, but she's also dealing with a different political landscape. It's going to be fascinating to see how she adapts and what kind of legacy she builds for herself.